Girl, this Diddy case just took the most surprising turn because while fans were waiting for the feds to announce what charges Diddy would be facing, King Combs got sick and tired of 50 Cent trolling Diddy, so he dropped a diss track. In the track, King Combs dropped the bomb that Diddy had a mole in the feds. He got a heads up that the raid was gonna happen and he burnt evidence. So it looks like we are in for some drama in the next couple of days because Diddy's son, King Combs, just dropped the bomb that Diddy had a mole in the feds who gave him a heads up about the raid that enabled Diddy to burn evidence. For those who have not clocked onto this tea, grab a seat and let me give you a refresher. Diddy has been grabbing the headlines in the past few months because of the numerous lawsuits filed against him, but the latest lawsuit was filed by music producer Lil Rodney Jones. And according to Rodney, he and Diddy were supposed to be working on some music together for Diddy's album. However, upon his arrival at Diddy's house, he was repeatedly mistreated by Diddy, and he witnessed some other stuff that he never would have imagined in his wildest dreams. He accused Diddy of touching him, putting substances in his drinks too, and then mistreating girls that Young Miami and other people had recruited and brought to his parties. Rodney also talked about how Diddy confessed to him that he had an affair with both Meek and Usher. He said Diddy flexed to him about how he made Stevie J hook up with him with the promise of getting Stevie a Grammy Award for Producer of the Year for the Love album. Diddy also offered him $250,000 to purchase all the instruments he wanted and promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. As if this wasn't bad enough, Rodney also went on to throw Diddy's entire family under the bus when he revealed that both of his sons, Justin Combs and Christian Combs, are also aware of everything Diddy has been doing, and they've even been participating in it. Chilly, when I tell you my jaw literally dropped to the floor when I heard this. I mean, it's one thing for Diddy to be a monster, but the thought of his sons also being involved in his dirty work just makes it even crazier. Like, what the hell is going on in that family? According to Rodney, he saw Diddy's youngest son, Christian Combs, drugging and essaying a woman, but it gets even worse from here because his other son, Justin, was also involved in similar things. He was reportedly also in charge of recruiting and luring the girls into parties. In fact, Rodney went on to attach a series of photos from some of the parties Diddy organized, and you can see him and Justin making out with some of the girls. Diddy released a statement basically calling everything a lie and accused Rodney of making things up so he can get himself some money. Justin's legal team also released a separate statement that said, Justin Combs categorically denies these absurd allegations. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. A few months after Rodney Jones's lawsuit, everyone was stunned when videos surfaced of Homeland Security raiding Diddy's home. Hours later, images emerged of officials leaving Diddy's residence with documents, gadgets, and King Combs and Justin being arrested. And we all know the feds don't raid unless they get concrete information. But then Diddy's home was not the only place that was raided because Diddy was also stopped at the airport with some of his crew after the feds searched them. Drugs were found on a man named Brendan Paul, who was later identified as his drug mule, as his name appeared in the Lil Rod Jones lawsuit. 50 Cent began trolling Diddy after his home was raided, and King Combs got sick and tired of 50 trolling Diddy, so he released a diss song aimed at 50, and in the song, he dropped the bomb that Diddy got heads up that from an insider that they were going to raid his house. He rapped, "Police raid the crib like they think we selling crack, but we out here selling tracks, multi-million-dollar plaques." And in another verse, he referenced the raid. He raps, "Knock these doors down like them Fetty boys running both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one they missed." Admitting to having a mole in the feds is crazy, and what makes this whole situation more surprising was that King admits that what the feds was indeed looking for was in their house, but they burnt it so the feds didn't get what they wanted. Diddy having mole in the feds makes a lot of sense, because after his home was getting raided by the feds, with Diddy not indoors, TMZ tracked Diddy's private jet's flight data 24 hours before the raid, and the results showed that Diddy's jet was up and down California between Sunday and Monday, taking off from Sacramento Executive Airport Sunday evening around 5:30 p.m. PT and landing at Palm Springs International Airport about an hour later. An hour after that, around 7:30 p.m. PT, Diddy's jet took off from Palm Springs yet again and landed at Van Nuys Airport, which is in the LA area. About 30 minutes later, around 8 p.m. PT, around 9 a.m. PT Monday, the jet took off from Van Nuys Airport and landed at some point in Antigua. Based on the flight data and the suspicious flights occurring hours before the raid, it sure looks like that Diddy was hinted by someone in the feds about the impending raid on his home. Additionally, it's noteworthy that he was attempting to flee from the airport when the raid occurred. With King Comb revealing they knew about the raid and burnt evidence before the feds came, I want to believe there would be some sort of internal investigation to determine who the mole was, and the mole being news of King Combs revealing that Diddy had a mole in the feds had fans talking, and they left comments saying, if this man doesn't end up behind bars along with his father, I will lose even more faith in the justice system. I'm sorry for the people who felt forced to endure these freaks. Well, we can only hope that the FBI is collecting enough evidence and witnesses, which there seems to be plenty, and the witnesses don't disappear, and it comes to trial and Sean Combs is found guilty and goes to jail. Street justice would be quick, appropriate, and ironic. Ha, feds listening to the song like, we only 25% complete with this case. Just wait, young fella, we got something for you. So do you think Diddy really had a mole in the feds? Or y'all think King Combs was just stunting in the diss? Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.